Are you ready to learn how to use ChatGPT to impress your clients as a virtual assistant? If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Lacaba. I run a virtual assistant agency here in the Philippines, 2XU, and I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, in the last almost 6 months now, I have been creating a lot of content on how you can use ChatGPT, and I really want you to get to the point where you are just using ChatGPT just for every day. So I want to break down how you can use it with your client if they've been looking at using ChatGPT themselves, or you've just been consuming a lot of my content and okay, yep, I want to do this, but how can I actually implement it slowly and day by day? So the first thing that you want to do to impress your clients to using ChatGPT is to actually start learning more, or as much as you can, on ChatGPT and AI in general. The reason why you want to start with this is you want to give yourself some knowledge. You want to give yourself some backup knowledge in case that your client, and they will ask you a bunch of questions like, hey, do you learn this? Have you done this? AI right now is super exciting because it's new. There's still unlimited capabilities of what it can do. There's scary capabilities of what it can do as well. So you want to educate yourself as much as you can on the limitations that it has, the possibilities that it has, and how other people have used it as well. You know, aside from me, there's been a lot of other amazing creators who've been creating a lot of content on how to use ChatGPT and AI as well. And as overwhelming as it can feel like, you can start with the basics and work your way up to learning all of the other millions of tools that are out there. But I've been really focusing, if you guys have noticed, on this channel on ChatGPT, just because at least it's just one path. I'm not pointing you to a million other tools that you can use with AI. I'm just focusing on ChatGPT. So you can also start there. Next is I want you to start identifying the tasks you can automate. Again, there's a ton of videos on my channel on how to use it for social media, for sales, for marketing, how to use it for your admin tasks, very especially. You want to start looking at those lists and look at your own task list. Look at the things that you've done in the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, working with your client. And what are things that out of that list, you can easily just have a ChatGPT bot basically ready to help you do that task. This is one of the ways that you can cut a lot of your time, especially if a lot of your time is spent on creating content or creating assets with your client. ChatGPT can just slowly break that down for you. So start identifying them, start seeing what do they look like, what can be done for them. And again, as you're learning and growing more into ChatGPT, you'll hopefully start seeing opportunities of how you can use them for your day-to-day. Next thing you want to do is to go ahead and create your processes. Now, I have done so many videos on how to create a standard operating procedure and videos on how to use ChatGPT to create your standard operating procedures. Now, if you have no idea what a standard operating procedure is in the first place, it is basically the step-by-step like manual on how to do certain tasks or processes in a business. So for example, how you do email management, that can be a standard operating procedure. How you do the social media management, that could be an SOP that you create step by step. This is a checklist you have to do. This is a branding guideline, so on and so forth. So I want you to start going ahead and start actually creating the processes for each task that you've now identified that can be done with ChatGPT. The reason why you want to do this is, of course, you want to make sure that there's a uniform way that you do this so you can create repetitive results every single time. So try to go through that list that you've already created and see, hey, do I have a process for this? Do I have a checklist for this at the very least? So that it's easier for you later on to actually put it into ChatGPT. And of course, as a bonus, you can always use ChatGPT to create those processes using with the WOAH method, which I've talked about in other videos, where you prime basically ChatGPT before you ask it the prompt. So use the WOAH method, the who are you, what you do, the outcome they're asking for, which is creating processes, asking it, are you ready? And then if you have a how, or if you have a template that you wanted to use, you can put it there. Or you can also ask ChatGPT to create that template for you. And then you can ask like, hey, can you create a standard operating procedure on how to do email management? And then all you have to do now is just edit it. Just make it yours, make it part of adding the labels that your client uses, so on and so forth. So just break down what your processes look like. So then the next step, which is creating what I like to call your TaskGPT. So your TaskGPT is you're assigning one chat thread from ChatGPT for every single task that you're doing, and even even breaking it down further. So what I mean by this is, for example, I have a TaskGPT on how I write for social media. I have a different TaskGPT for how I write newsletters. I have a different TaskGPT for how I write blog posts. So for every kind of task that I have, even broken down to the smaller parts, I have a TaskGPT that I attach to it. That way, it's so much easier for me to just go into the thread that I want to go to as I'm doing this task and actually ask for the thing I'm asking. Don't have to do a lot of background, don't have to teach it because I've already primed it. So then anytime again that task comes up, you can easily just go to ChatGPT, get your first draft written up, and then throwing it out and then making it yours. Of course, make sure that you track your TaskGPTs. The way that I do it is for the tasks that I've identified. I have a Notion database that I use to save all the links that I'm using for each kind of task, so it's easy for me to jump around. But now the cool thing is you have just your mini assistant, mini you, in those TaskGPTs. That of course will make your life and your client's life just a little bit easier. Next is you want to start, as you now have your TaskGPT, customizing it for your client's business. Now, different ways that you can do this is, one, train ChatGPT in your client's voice. What I mean by this is you can literally just copy and paste maybe a social media post that your client already wrote and paste it to ChatGPT and ask it, hey, can you learn this writing style? That way, anytime that you write a social media post, it'll kind of copy the style that it had above, the example that it had above, and rewrite it, whatever it is you're asking it for. So for example, like I said earlier, I have a TaskGPT for my social media posts. So what I've done is I've fed it a lot of my content. And as you guys probably know, I have a ton of content out there, and basically just taught it like, hey, can you learn this writing style? And then afterwards, when it says, yep, I understand what it is, I will then ask, can you create this kind of post? Give it the bullet points that I need, and then it'll create that social media post for me. So that's the first thing. It's just training it in the brand voice of your client. Second way is to keep creating your processes. That's why I've kind of put it on the top, is because you want to keep finding other ways to make yourself and your client more efficient in the business. So you guys are either making more money or saving more money. That should be the goal. So try to keep going back through your list and seeing if there's anything else that you can automate with ChatGPT or with other AI tools as well. It's important that you are able to break things down and not just have it be a set and forget, because there's always going to be a new tool that you can use, that you can have your client use, and make both of your lives a little bit easier. The third thing that you can do to customize it to your client's business is to make sure that before you post or you send out anything that's been created by ChatGPT, is that you customize it. You double check it, because ChatGPT will only run based on the information you gave it. So you have to be the one to make sure that it's customized, that it makes sense for your client's business, and you're not just accepting whatever ChatGPT said. And lastly, the biggest thing you have to make sure that you do is you want to track the results. You want to track and see if it's actually something that can be done moving forward. If there needs to be like a different prompt or a different tool that you guys have to use. You also want to track if it's saved you time or made you time in that way, or even better, if it saved your client money or made your client more money. So then you can focus or double down on the processes and tasks where you can make more of that, where you can repeat that same result over and over again. As I've been using ChatGPT in the last 6 months, it has been honestly the most amazing thing for me as a content creator and also as an entrepreneur, because it has made my life easier knowing that I have mini me's that I can just ask and create content from scratch, and then all I have to do is just to edit it and make it sound like me. So hopefully this walkthrough for you will help you and your client be able to just use ChatGPT a little bit easier. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below, what tasks have you used ChatGPT for? I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Now, hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!